Well, Graham Lenihan is with me now. You wrote a piece in the papers at the weekend. You say you've been vilified on social media and that you've even lost work as a result of speaking out in this trans debate.
There's protests, they get shut down. Kathleen Stock had a freedom of information request about her emails. You know, it's insane, the abuse and harassment they face. Children are basically being experimented on with puberty blockers. Lupron, which is a drug that's supposed to be meant for end-stage cancer prostate cancer treatment, is being given to young girls. It has never been tested on girls. It has never been tested on women. If you look at the Tavistock, 35 psychologists have quit the Tavistock in 3 years. Does that sound...
That's one of the centres which deals specifically with people who think that they want to change their gender.
Yes, that's 35 over 3 years. Do you think that sounds like a healthy environment for children?
I've no idea what the reason why people might be leaving are, but
35 psychologists.
Children being able to come forward and talk about issues that they feel, it's entirely up to them whether or not they want to do that. Nobody's forcing anybody into anything.
No, I'm sorry.
Here.
You don't tell children that they were born in the wrong body because they're children and they will believe you. That's the important. These are. I've seen kids. There are reports from the Tavistock that children as young as 4 were brought in. These are children. You know, children are still believing in Santa when they're 10. You know, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. One of the other things that Tavistock whistleblowers reported was that homophobic parents were bringing in their gender non-conforming kids and telling them to fix them. You know, there was a dark joke that went around the Tavistock where they said that in a couple of years there'll be no gay people left. You know, now that's why I compare it to eugenics programs and things like that. It is extremely serious. And all I'm asking for is that people like me and the women that I support are not attacked. Their meetings aren't protested. They aren't abused on Twitter. I've been sued.
Yeah, okay.
I've been reported to the police.
I know you have.
My wife's address has been published online. All these things have happened because I'm trying to make the conversation less toxic. Trans activists threaten the feminists I support with rape and death threats. Okay, so the idea that there's an equivalence between these two, I am absolutely happy to step out of this conversation completely once women like Kathleen Stock and Jane Claire Jones are allowed to speak.
Quite a lot of women think that they can speak for themselves, thank you, and they don't necessarily need Graham Lenihan to come in and talk for us.
Well, the women I support value my support and are glad that I'm amplifying their voices. This is a hinge moment in history. We ask ourselves, what would I have done? Would I have bowed down? Would I have done everything I was told to do? Or would I have resisted? Would I have stood up, and would I have stood up alongside people who were trying to do the right thing? That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. And it's being made very, very difficult. Look, you know, 2 years ago, we wrote to Stonewall, way before I compared trans rights activists to Nazis, and we said, could we please bring down the toxicity of this conversation? Could we please just look at some of these issues, some of these points where women's rights conflict with trans rights, and just talk about it? And within the day, Stonewall said no. They said absolutely not.
So they said to us today, we invited them to come on the programme, and instead they gave us a statement saying trans people in Britain face huge levels of abuse in all areas of their life. They quote statistics showing that hate crimes against trans people have increased 37% in the last year, and say they're proud of their work towards trans equality.
Yes, but the reason hate crimes have increased is because everything is now transphobic, including saying statements like, men aren't women. These are considered transphobic statements. So the reason that these hate crime figures are going up is because the bar has been set so low for what is and isn't transphobic. There has to be a conversation about this. It is absolutely crucial.